Okay, we come for a bit of a walk into Chester. Just down at the river at the moment. Hickory's is back open now in Chester. Everyone sat outside having a drink. It's quite peaceful still. Let's head off, go for a little bit of a walk round. Okay, there's Yates's in the distance. Just going past the bandstand on the river. It's a bit dark down here, so you won't see much. See more in town, probably. Heading towards Handbridge. The actual bridge. Like I say, it is quite dark, so you're probably not going to pick up much in this section. Head on up to the bridge though. A few people about. Walking the dog. There's a chap over there, the big dog, and other people. I used to walk across this bridge every Monday morning back in the 1990s. I used to cut through the park heading up to HMV and the Virgin Megastore, because Monday morning was when all the singles used to come out and new albums and what have you, so used to always be heading off to Chester to see what was in the shops. Oh, it's one of those scooter things. I don't know if you can see it. It's a little bit dark here, unfortunately. I haven't got a torch with me apart from my phone, but there's a knee scooter thing parked up. And here's the Handbridge. I'm not quite sure why this area is called Handbridge. There's probably a reason for it.
That building there with the light on the window, it's nice. I like the brick red, it's nice.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. That says access to 4 Parkside. I'm assuming that's a house of some kind. There's a little house on the end here with a lamp outside, looks very pretty. I'm just having a quick nose at this post box. I don't know if it'll show up. It's George Royal, that one. So it's the Queen's dad. It was King George, wasn't he? I think. I can't quite remember. I think it was Edward that abdicated and George took over, I think. Or George was Edward's dad. I can't ever remember how it was. Not the world's best at history. But there's the Handbridge.
The original bridge there.
No, this one was built in the 1920s. It has got a sign a little bit further across.
Was it older? Was it before that?
Yeah.
Victorian one, was it?
Before 1920s, yeah.
Yeah, it was about like 18 something, 1860 or 15.
Oh, sure.
Must be quite old anyway.
Where are you heading from here, guys? You going over the bridge or are you
If
going?
you don't mind, yeah, if you want.
Yeah, I don't mind.
If you want, can do, yeah. What would you, yeah.
No cyclists on this bridge. And no one's allowed to jump off it. A bylaw from 1980, apparently. It does say just up here, I can't remember, it's 20 something. Here we are, Queen's Park Bridge, 1923.
Yeah, 1923.
So its official title is Queen's Park Bridge, but everyone calls it Handbridge, don't they?
the way there were offices for the RAF and Army,
Yeah?
and there are tunnels from the buildings across the way underneath the river.
Everyone always says that.
My
There's
granddad
tunnels
used-
across the river.
My granddad was in the RAF and he used to work in the big building across the way there.
I see.
It's now Lloyd's Bank, or one of the banks own it. If he was still alive,
Sign
he'd
here.
tell you where everything was.
The
Yeah,
bridge is
there's,
opened.
1923 then.
There's a tunnel that goes under the river.
It was opened by the Mayor of Chester, Councillor Sir Arthur Wall.
Oh, the wall.
But in the middle of town, there's loads of tunnels under the shops, and they quite a lot of them went to the cathedral. The story says it was for the monks to escape. And some of the pubs as well have got it. Now I think there's army barracks past the hospital, and
Yeah.
if you go on YouTube, there's a fella who's done a video and he's gone tunnels. I'm not sure if it's from the barracks heading towards town. If it's still on YouTube.
I think Chester Barracks were tanks. I think it was tanks at Chester, wasn't it?
There's quite a lot of new buildings over on that side. I think, I'm trying to think where they're big. Somewhere. But it's the bank that owned it, but there was tunnels. Probably like there's bunkers and stuff. And they probably just covered them up because it was cheaper to cover them up. Because there's underground toilets and stuff as well in the main town, and they've probably been just covered up because it was cheaper. Do you know what I mean? And you've got
They were by
old-
the market, weren't they?
And there's used to be Spudger Life, but it's a cafe now. But if you go in there, you've got the old like Roman baths and that in there. If you ask, and you just go downstairs. And I can't remember which pub it is now. Is it the Union Vaults? I think there's a tunnel there that goes into town, and I think the fire brigade have used the tunnel, or one of the tunnels, to practice, doing their fire stuff. But quite a lot of them have been boarded up. Like if you go down the cellar in some of the pubs, and I think as well down what's it called, by the train station, City Road, there's tunnels from some of the big hotels there as well that go underneath.
And it says on this side of the bridge, 2012, welcome to the Groves. 2012. I know we had the Olympics in 2012, didn't we? So maybe it's something to do with that, I don't know. Some gold globes on the top. Some coat of arms as well, from 1129 to 1153. I think it's Ranulph des Nons. No idea, possibly Latin.
And across the bridge is the high school, so it's probably a good route for kids to go to school.
Where's the high school?
You go across the bridge and then off there's a high school.
Oh, okay.
I think it's on the mum went to when she was younger.
There's a few ducks knocking
I'm not
round.
sure on that one, but I think so. Is it the Catholic school across the bridge?
I honestly don't know.
To a Catholic school.
I don't know what on earth that is. TKSIT Ooze on tour. Or something like that.
Do you want to go on the bridge? Not the other end, but just right over there or not?
Yeah, you can do if you wish. I'll pause it while we just walk across.
Across the
Okay, we're
bridge
approaching the
and
other
up
side
to-
of this bridge now.
up to Bridge Street, can't you?
Wobbly, you can feel it, can't you? A bit, can't you? A little bit.
Yeah, it does sway a little bit in the wind. But we're coming to the end of the Queen's Park Bridge.
You would think it's got like that, something like a
I
metal.
think
Yeah.
they treat it and they do change it.
They must have special trims and treats it if you need some, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but they do change them, the planks and that.
Coming over to the other side now.
This party, I don't think I have. May have been, but I don't think I have, you know. All the
No.
time been coming here, you know, honestly, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, we used to park across this side and walk into Chester, but in the 90s they put double yellows absolutely everywhere to stop people parking over here. It was a bit of a shame really, because back in those days there was long straights of road with cars that had plenty of houses, that had plenty of parking for several cars, and big long rows of pathways and what have you, with just walls where cars could easily park without causing too much grief, because the roads are quite wide as well. But I think that the council frowned upon it, probably because people were parking over here rather than parking in the lucrative car parks in town for about £6 an hour.
No, this is Queen's Park. It's Handbridge.
But we're just in a residential area now pretty much, so I'll cut off until we get somewhere that's a little bit more public, shall we say. Right, okay, we've come out of the residential area now into Handbridge. Got the co-op here, got a few buildings, got a Groves and Arms pub.
Big bang.
There's a bit of activity going on at the garage, so I'll just walk a little bit further down. Got a post office here.
Yeah.
And Jimmy here used to go to college just up the road here, didn't you, Jim? Whereabouts was
I'll
it?
do a little speech. If you observe that way,
Yeah,
I used to walk across here every day
yeah.
to college Monday to Friday from September 1996 to June / July 1999. I
Yeah,
used to go to Westchester College and I used to go do my intermediate business course, GMQ, BTEC, for a year. I got distinction, and then to let you know, then I did the advanced one for 2 years and I got distinction with that.
that's where you were here for
Right.
quite some time then.
I was, yeah, it's probably about 3 years.
Yeah,
I used to come on my own with my rucksack across the bridge. I used to get the bus from my house round the corner to Chester
yeah,
and walk from Chester bus station. I would we say about 10, 15, 20 minutes with the push.
yeah.
Just to there, and I was quite a quick walker.
It was just up here, was it?
Just straight up there. It's like a fork, but you don't go right, you bear left. Straight ahead was more left, straight down, and I'd say
Okay.
about half a mile, I'd say. You
Yeah.
probably could do it in 5 minutes and take like a short right, and then there was the college. It was
Oh.
Eaton Road, it's called, Westchester College
Westchester,
in Handbridge.
in
That's
Handbridge.
the one,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
where I used to go.
There's
Sorry
a
about
bit
the
of
one
a-
banging, isn't it? Funny.
Yeah, I'll come away from here. I think
Yeah,
it's a bit
I used
noisy.
to like college days. I was only, and I was about 18 when I went to college here, and then I finished when I was 21. So it probably was about 3 years, roughly.
Yeah,
3 years, yeah. They were good, happy days as well. Wasn't bad, I suppose. Yeah, but not bad times.
George Royal Post
thanks,
Office
thank you,
letterbox. Oh, no worries, no. Got a bit of a brown sugar coffee shop here. We're heading back into Chester this way now, but what we've done, we've walked through the housing estate at Handbridge, and we're heading down to the old stone bridge that crosses the river here. I think, is it a Roman bridge this, or am I going mental? I think it's...
I don't know, I think it could be, because it is a very old bridge. I know that, hundreds and hundreds of years old. Yeah,
it's an ancient one anyway.
It was a Roman bridge. Probably is, yeah.
Do you know, Anne-Marie? Is it a Roman bridge, this one?
Maybe.
No one's really sure.
Nice vegetable shop here,
Yeah, I don't know if you can see really what little shop selling
It's juice.
juice, is it? Oh, it's a juice shop. I see it's got loads of fruit in there, so that's why then. They're not very well lit up though, a little bit dark. Not like the ones when we went to Llangollen. They were quite well lit, so you could see what was going on, but the shop's full of olive oil. It says bread, pies and pastries. Must be a baker type place. There's a pharmacy here. And then a bit more of an extension of the pharmacy. It must be quite a big one, this. Heading on into town again. Got the Ship Inn on the left. As you saw before, Hickory's was open, so the pubs are now open until... They're open until a certain time of night, aren't they, love? The pubs. I can't remember, it must be about 11 o'clock, something like that. But you can only open if you've got an outside area, because you're not allowed to go in the pubs yet. You sit outside and the waitress comes out and serves you your pint. Places like this Ship Inn might struggle because there doesn't seem to be a great deal of outside area here, unless we've got something at the back maybe, I don't know. No, there we go. Miss your lots. Reopen May 17. It says on the door there. So the Ship Inn is struggling because it hasn't got any outside space. There's going to be a lot of pubs like that at the moment. I'm not particularly a big boozer myself, so I only go with friends generally. I'm not one of these that's propping up the bar every evening. So I haven't really missed them that much, but I know a lot of people have. You can tell it's an old bridge this, it's very narrow and there's only room really for one set of cars to go across at a time, so that's why it's got traffic lights on. And it's got passing points, as you can see here. And here's a bigger one. I think this is a modern edition. I think those on that side are probably the proper original ones. This looks like a later edition, but I could be wrong, it might just be. An old one that's been extended. There's an old passing point there with an old lamp on. Then across the way over there you can see Hickory still lit up. So they must be open a little bit later than I thought. I thought it was 11 o'clock, but what time is it now? I think it's 5 to 11. Oh, so possibly they might be closing shortly then. Now I assume these were for letting carts through or something like that, or getting out the way when a cart was going past. And something along those sort of lines. The concrete here is a bit chewed up. I thought it was wood, that's why I was giving it a tap, but it's not. It is a bit of concrete, I think. I think so, anyway. River's going for it across the way. I'll just get me hand grip on this, just in case I drop it. But as you can see, the river's got a bit of force in it. Got the weir here. This is where people come. I think they come canoeing. I think up here. Could be wrong, but I think they do. I think they come canoeing here, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Yeah, I thought they did. Where's that? Oh, apparently across the way is the old water house pump station. We've actually come into Britain, England today, because we've been in Wales quite a lot of the time. A lot of the journeys we've had lately, we haven't been allowed over the border until about a month ago. So we haven't really been into Chester much, and to be honest, right through April and start of May we've been extremely busy. And we still are, to be honest. That's why we're out so late. We haven't had 5 seconds to breathe, so thought, as it's quite late on, we'll come out for a little bit of a walk. And I said, oh, I'll film it while I'm here. There's a heron down there. I don't know if he'll come out. He's a big fella. Hopefully he comes out of it. Right, we're coming into civilization now, so the lighting is probably going to start to get a little bit better. Probably get to actually see things now, because it's not very well lit down by the river, but town is obviously. Pause for a sec. Righto, resume. So we spotted something there. The Millennium Festival Trail. Yeah. I was saying it's a bit better lit in town, so you might actually get to see something now, because it's been pitch black for most of the video probably. The bridge is currently going on under renovation. Look at these grand old Victorian housing. Big old Victorian townhouses are really pretty. I don't think I could do with living here, like, because I think it'd be extremely busy. You'd never have anywhere to park, because your parking spot would always be nicked. And you'd have thousands of people walking past every day. Got the Bear and Billet pub across the road here. It's got HH written in the top there. I don't know what that's a Roman numeral for, but someone will know. But I believe it's quite old. The Three Kings Studios. Art studios? Music studios? No idea. And across this side you've got Jules Ale House, the Cross Keys pub. And this is Bridge Place apparently. Lovely old houses. I mean, that one must be absolutely ginormous because it's got a basement and then it's got what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4 floors, is it? Massive. That place across the way looks quite old. Big tall chimneys. Shipgate Street. That place down there looks like it might be a bit more peaceful, perhaps. I don't know.
About to say something. I don't like to talk roughly.
Oh, is it the car garage?
There's the old Ford garage, the old car garage.
It is,
Remember
yeah.
that little quick street. I remember going there back in the year 1990, which is this year 31 years ago with my dad.
Yeah.
And actually sat in the cars. The Vauxhall, was it not Vauxhall? Sorry, the Ford Sierra. Get it right. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sierra. And we could sit inside the cars in the showroom.
Crikey.
And apparently, back in 1999 or 8, I think Dave Cheapwood was the branch manager.
Okay.
I don't know what year. I think it was not 6 or 7. I think it was 8 or 9. I did a case study. Well, a study on it in a business course at West Cheshire College in Handbridge, Eaton Road.
Yeah.
And I went there to interview the manager, asked some questions, and I did a little unit. And honestly, Dave Sheepwood was the manager then back in 1999, 98.
Fair dues.
Yeah, honestly, all them years ago. And I was probably about 20, 21 then.
Yeah.
This is after 1990 when I went to my dad. But I went to my dad, he said he was going to buy a car, and we just went to look around.
Yeah.
And it was lovely. I remember the showroom, and it's sad, it was lovely going in there. I had loads of cars, all the Sierras, the Fiestas. I remember opening the doors and all the smell of the newness.
It's all gone now.
New, yeah.
Does anyone know how long ago it closed down by any chance? Or?
I don't know, but I have an idea. We're in 2021, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not recent. I probably would say at least 10 years ago, maybe 15 with a push.
Yeah.
I know it was open
So
2000.
it was?
99, 2000,
Yeah.
2001, the early 2000s. I
Okay.
probably would say about 2005, 10, probably at least 10, 15
So it's
years
been
ago.
gone a number of
It's
years.
been a while, yeah. Not recent, yeah. I'm not sure
Yeah.
exactly, I might be wrong, but I know it's been a good 10, 15 years. Yeah, it certainly was.
Hmm.
The glass taken out. It's not the same anymore, though, is it?
No, it's a shame, isn't it?
It's sad, though, isn't it? Nice to walk down here every day as well.
Let's take a quick look back as well as we're walking away. Ah, it says Ye Old Edgar on that building across the way there. Ye Old Edgar. I don't know if it was ever a pub or if it's just the name of the building. Dave Williams Photography across the way there. Obscure Coffee. Obscure Coffee. Maybe the source is somewhere unusual, the Kalahari Desert or something. Belvoir. Inkfill.com. I'm assuming that's a printer ink place. Here's the rhinos. There was a period a few years ago where there's rhinos all over Chester, wasn't there? Because they had the lamb bananas in Liverpool and yeah. Black Freighter Tattoo Company. And Black Freighter Tattoo Company across the way as well, so it seems to be right the way across to the end, this place, so it's doing alright for itself. So that's quite a substantial size building for a tattoo parlour. It's quite a substantial size, isn't it? Then we've got the pub, the Old King's Head. Been open a couple of years, this place. It was built in 1622. It's been there quite a while, shall we say. Oh, the little dolly shop. This place has been here a long time as well. I remember coming past here, what, 20 years ago or something, and there was dollies here then. Look a little bit creepy in the dark. I'm not sure if it's the doll shop that's haunted. There is one of these up this street haunted. I can't remember where though. There's the King's Head again.
Oh my god, that's fucking hilarious. That is actually me, the night.
Ominous looking steps. A few houses up for grabs. Heritage Court, that looks like a nice old building as well across the way there. Should we have a look? See what the houses are going for at the moment. Let's have a look at the cheap ones first. Here we go. Little terrace shop, terraced house even. 275 grand. It's not bad, is it?
That money though, isn't it?
Then you've got the bigger ones. This one here is £1,095,000. Crikey. A barn conversion. Here we go. Tudor House. Used to be record shop, this place. I used to come here and get records, and you know, back in the day when you used to be getting records by The Cure and Sisters of Mercy and stuff like that, this was the place to go. Tudor House.
Was it really?
Yeah, like
What was it years ago?
it was records and fashion and stuff like that.
Back 20 years ago, in the 90s or 80s.
God, it was probably up about 1981 or something.
It's about 40 years ago.
Something like that.
40 years ago, you know, like, aren't you?
It says here Tudor House was built about 1503 in the reign of King Henry the Seventh. King Henry the Seventh's reign. So it's even before Big Henry. But yeah, if you're like a teenager in the 80s, this was your hangout spot. Used to have that. Used to have Penny Lane Records as well. That's well gone now. Adam's Fish and Chips. Looks like a kebabby to me. It's got a cafe section too, obviously closed at the moment, but I'm sure it'll be back open again soon. 5 hygiene ratings, good sign. The Oddfellows Hall across the way. We were in Chester a few months ago, and all the pubs and restaurants etc. were all shut, and you couldn't hear a pin drop on these streets.
Thanks for your hairdressers there. Did you know years ago?
Here?
No, you know there. I don't know what it was called. Tony and Guy was it, or something? I'm not sure, but something named for your hairdressers. That
Oh yeah.
About 2001. I remember 20 years ago.
It's Tesco Express.
Nowadays, yeah, but years ago it was used to be a hairdressers. I used to go there. I used to know a girl called Angelina. Don't eat this one. I'm sure it's very pretty as well. If you look inside, very carefully, you can still see the old hairdressers. Can you see inside or not? You can see the old hairdressers there.
Oh yeah.
No joke, you can still see the old hairdressers. A little bit, yeah. Is it true or not? The hairdressing stuff, but it's still there.
Oh, I don't know.
No, I don't know if it is, but it used to be hairdressers. Yeah, it's still the hairdressing stuff inside. People go back and back a long time, I don't know. Funny thing about the tickets there inside, aren't you? Funny thing about it.
Now you're coming up onto Chester's Rose. You can tell the pubs are back open, can't you? You can tell the pubs are back open. Wedding cake shop. Yeah. Oh well, a cake shop at least, happy birthday cakes and things like that as well. It just seems to be called cake. Right.
song? Bittersweet Symphony.
Yes.
Playing
Yeah.
that. It's not you that come out in 1997.
Was
Remember,
it?
honestly, about 6 or 7, it's 97 it was. It sounds old, but back on that, just thinking 24 years ago, I was only 19 about. I seen the video, you know, when he walks at the town and pushes people and knocks into them.
Yeah.
Symphony, remember it. Did that used to be a restaurant years ago? Was it like a cafe? It was? About
Yeah, I
10
think
years
it
ago,
was.
maybe 15. It's a French boulangerie, like a patisserie, you know. What's that French Connection? What's that? Is that a shop, is it?
French Connection is closed, I think, isn't it? Unreal, no?
Didn't that used to be a nightclub or something?
No.
Clothes. But didn't it used to have a nightclub in Chester called French Connection?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, am I wrong? What was it called? Style? Oh, French Connection. Oh,
No.
French Connection.
No.
I don't know. Maybe, I mean, back in the 90s, I mean, we got like 50.
Still no.
No, probably wrong. Yeah.
No. I don't remember one. Walking along here, just carry on along the rows. Antiques, jewellery and silver, Lowe and Sons, established 1770. It's all boarded up wisely. It may even be closed now because there were rumours that it was going to close, but then there were other rumours that it was staying open again, so it may just be shut for the time being. It's the cross down here. This is where the town crier would stand, ringing his bell and regaling you with the news. Right. Okay. Everyone needed to go for a toilet break, so we've come up here to. Is it Frodsham Street? This one.
This is, yes, Frodsham Street.
Frodsham Street. So you got Lou's here.
Yeah.
And if you're caught short in the evening, there's a urinal for the ladies. It's a bit more difficult, but there is a disabled toilet. I think they're free, but they're closed. They're out of service.
We've got a disabled.
There is a
key, so
disabled toilet there,
You
and
can buy disabled keys off Amazon cheap.
yeah, there you go.
A radar key they're called. They're quite handy if you go on your holidays and.
Yeah.
And what happened? What if you got
toilet.
stuck in that lift on your own and you couldn't get out? How did you get me out then?
And if you're diabetic like me, it is handy to be able to get access to a loo.
There's the witch's kitchen on it.
Yeah, they're talking about this building here. This used to be the Witch's Kitchen Cafe back in the 1980s, and there's also a nightclub in there at the top.
That used to be Everlasting's, yeah, the white building. But on the opposite side, these are all new buildings because it used to be called Mercier Square,
Yeah,
and you used to go up the steps. There was a balcony on the top with shops and wine bars.
I think there was a rear entry, wasn't there, to WH Smith's or something up there?
I think so. It was called Mercier Square, and then
Yeah,
when did they get rid of it? Was it early 90s?
I'm not sure. Yeah, probably. It was there in the 80s at least.
No, but you used to go up the steps somewhere on here, and there was a balcony. There was a separate building for AA, I think it's AA, and then there was a wine bar and shops.
Just used to be
So that was Mercier Square.
Yeah.
Mercier Square. Here Used to be a school at the back, and I think there was the gates along here, and yeah, a school. I don't know what the school was called.
How long are we talking here? 80s or 1880s?
No, like 50s, 60s, 70s type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. These buildings, the old buildings, but as you can see here, they're not old.
City Tavern looks quite old.
Yeah, that's still there. I'm sure it was somewhere here. You know where that used to be Everlasting's, it's now Savers.
Yeah.
And the building next door. I think they've been made to look old when they're not.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? I think above, what's it called, Savers, I think that Quaker House, and the training there.
Savers is just there.
Well, where they do training.
That's the one
I
that used to
think
be
I've been up there.
Everlasting's.
Like they do like various training courses. But yeah, because you've got the little gap there, haven't you? The thing down that gap used to take you to the back entrance to BHS. Remember?
Yeah.
Where the cafe was. But obviously, I think all that there, this bit here and at the back was a school. But that's look. There's a group on Facebook, Chester History and Heritage, and Chester Memories, and there's pictures on there.
Yeah, they may know a bit more
Well,
about
people
it.
who went to that school might know, mightn't they? But I think it was there. The school.
There you go. It's been this setup for quite some time now. You've had Poundland, Greg's,
Yeah, these are all
Kex.
new, these shops, Poundland and all that.
but they've been here for a number of years, haven't they? They must have been here about 10 years.
I can't remember if I've been into Mercia Square. I must have done, because I'm sure this was 90s when these buildings were built on that side. So I must have been. Because there used to be Fatty Arbuckle, remember? Yeah, was it Poundland?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I know, I said that before,
That's it,
didn't I?
yeah.
Fatty Arbuckle.
Yeah, I'm sure
About 99, 98, 97.
Poundland.
Yeah, used to be Fatty Arbuckle, and I
Used to be
remember
really
that,
nice,
yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like with lasagna.
So if that was Fatty Arbuckle's in 1998, 1999, you're talking over 20 years ago that these buildings were put here then. So it must have been end of the 80s, start of the 90s perhaps. I'm actually amazed there's cars coming up here. It's very pedestrianised up here nowadays. Used to be cars up and down here all the time.
Across the road there is Lush and Paper Chase. That's part of the Blossoms Hotel. So I think that was the main entrance to get in at one stage.
And when did the Blossoms Hotel close?
It's still open.
Oh right, okay.
I think you go down the street at the side. At the bottom, is it called the Snooty Fox or
Yeah.
the Red Door or
I remember
something?
the Snooty Fox.
Yeah.
Back in
And then-
1990, my mum went
and
to
then-
that back in 90, honestly 1990, that's 31 years
Oh,
And
there
then
you
the
go.
door next to it
Remember it?
is where you go into the Blossoms Hotel.
So once upon a time it was there.
But before Paper Chase and Lush, that would have been the entrance to go in.
I see. So are these rooms still part of the hotel or not?
I'm not sure because I've never actually been in the Blossoms,
Okay.
but it was all part of the Blossoms. Because I think it does say above somewhere that would be the Blossoms. So you should go down this street here and it's Scoochie Fox, I think it's called, a Red Door or whatever. And then next to it is the entrance in to the Blossoms. Oh there, see it there, the Blossoms.
I see, yes. 1650.
They do weddings in there as well. Like functions and weddings in there as well.
Down
I've
on.
never actually been
Do you know
in
if you
there.
had to count now on your hand how many nightclubs in Chester now, but there's not many. This one got 2 or 3. There's not many clubs, maybe 4.
No,
There's
not many.
Is there?
You've
got 10, doesn't it?
Down here you've got Marks and Spencer's. Where that car is at the moment, on the right used to be C&A.
Years ago, loads of
And if you walk down here, One of the buildings on your left. There's
And
a
there
main building.
is the
There's a
Chester
hotel,
clock.
the hotel that runs on.
Lots of people come from around the world to see this clock.
Smiths has been here for a very long time. In that building there.
Yeah, it's getting renovated at the moment, Smiths.
Scaffolding around here at the minute. Down there, lit up blue. The one with the band. It's now a nightclub. And I saw some British Telecom was down there. They've turned on it at the back of Marks and Spencer's. When you look at old pictures, you see the other side, there is some sign hanging. And it's in the same place.
Excuse me, can I rely on you three to get home safe?
Righto. Just waited for the hooligans to clear off. And you can see the Chester clock. 1:45. And Anne-Marie says she's got a story.
Follow me.
Yeah. Got the Grosvenor Hotel just across the road here.
Down here, through that gate,
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
was a pub.
Oh right, okay.
No, I can't remember what it's called. But down there was a pub.
Yeah.
I think it's part of this building.
Okay.
There was a pub.
And it's gone now.
Does that say that? Well, people,
It's an exciting
it's on
story.
the Chester History site on Facebook, and obviously the people who have been there will know. But you can Google it. I think it's on pub's history on Google.
There's a clock again. Now the bridge has been there for a long time. ADMDCCLXVIII, whatever that is. But the clock has been there since 1897. Then you've got the Chester Grosvenor Hotel. That's Chester's Posh Hotel.
And then down in the middle there where the precinct is, back 60s and beyond, didn't exist. Because at the back of all of this, rows of terraced houses. And what they did is they knocked them all down.
I
to
don't go
build
down
the
that way, you
precinct.
know, down there, isn't it?
Yeah. I just
This is the Chester Grey, isn't it? Quite posh,
that's it.
expensive.
There's usually a gentleman in a hat and tails, etc., standing outside. Well, I think it's closed at the moment. I'm sure it's been closed for about 12 months. Because we've been here during previous lockdown, when you were free to move.
That used to be Barclays Bank there. It's about a sole trader.
Yeah,
And
that was
this here
Barclays Bank across
used
the
to
way.
be, you've got, I think was it New Look, and next was Woolworths,
I see.
and
Were they
there's
joined?
entrances round the back, because round the back of next used to be the entrance into Woolies Cafe. And I'm sure New Look was part of Woolies as well. And then Woolies moved then down the bottom to which is now Primark. And before that used to be C&A. And then before C&A it was a cinema, and there was a hotel next door. Was it called the Swan Inn? I think. And the cinema, I'm trying to think what the cinema was called. The Regal.
I'm gonna have to.
It's on.
I'm gonna have to stop filming in a second because it's starting to rain. And if the rain doesn't die down, I'll have to stop. There's a Grosvenor shopping centre.
Yeah. That's 60s when it started that, I think. Go up on the road on the other side. If you wanted.
Yeah,
There's a road on that
It's got
side.
to rain a bit now, isn't it?
it is. I'm gonna have to curtail the filming in a sec if it doesn't stop
Go
raining.
to the road so you don't get wet. There's Debenhams. I like you, Debenhams.
Yeah, it's in the final few days.
Is it ASOS I bought them?
I have no idea.
I think so. And then,
There we go.
was it misguided before the others? Should we go up here?
Going up the other side of the road, so I might be able to film a little bit longer. There we are, Debenhams.
Inked up. Tattoos. Paula.
Debenhams is in its final days now. It's,
That's been there
it's
since
not got long left.
60s.
I think it shuts this week. I'm not sure, but I think it's this week it goes.
It's been round for like 1800 for the flowers. This is Godstall Lane. There's restaurants down there. Nice restaurants. Livingston.
See if I can climb up here without breaking my neck. Probably not because it's extremely steep. Just bear with me. There we go. There we have Debenhams in the old Browns of Chester building.
The crypt. They made that into the cafe, didn't they, the crypt?
And that down below is the crypt that Amory's
But it's quite big,
talking
isn't
about in the
it?
background there.
I bet it's got
Browns of Chester was bought by Debenhams in 1976, I believe. It was known as Browns of Chester before that. It was also known as Harrods of the North. Was one of the titles of the place, and it was opened in, I think it was the 1870s,
Yeah, I think
and it moved to this location. I think it was about 1891. I only know this because I was reading up on Debenhams and Browns of Chester recently.
so. It's still open at the minute for this week, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's this week.
If you go upstairs to the top floor to the toilets, outside on the wall, it's got the history from the 1800s up till now. But this is the last week that you can go in there and look. There's still a few bits left, there's some jewellery and there's not much makeup at all really, a little bit and a bit of perfume, there isn't much. All the good stuff's gone anyway. I'm not sure
There's-
what the plan is.
There's pretty much nothing in there. You know, it's like 10 lipsticks or something, that's about it.
That'll be open soon, won't it? And inside on the wall, there's a bit where it's exposed to show you what it's made from. But it's not made from usual brick. It's made from.
There's a gargoyle there on the boot in.
It's made from.
See the hands holding
wooden
up the
sticks.
roof? You can see the hands of the creature holding up the roof. I wonder if I can get a little bit closer.
That's the start of the too, isn't it?
There you go, see?
What crypt that is then?
1543. It's been here a while as the boot.
Oh, I like it there.
This is the row entrance for the boot, or the main entrance.
That's the problem. And also they're really strict now. Don't want you having your mobiles and tablets and stuff, do they?
In other words, the place is a godsend.
There's like a little cafe, I think. Bar stuff. Pick, what's it called? Pictorial. It must be like
Art supplies.
cafe or something. That was like a little Chinese place next door, and then it turned into a wine bar. And I think it's like a cafe now, as well. Because now, because of the COVID, go down the steps and the seats, and you can sit and have some drinks. Yeah, because there's an upstairs as well, too. That's what posh inside. You go upstairs, toilets are upstairs. Oh, I remember rightly.
It looks pitch black inside, so you can't actually see anything.
No.
A little here.
Oh, there's a barber, so I get a haircut, isn't it? And goldsmiths. I think it's where they
As in Jemima, or
Well, I've got a freezer in a goldsmith shop.
no idea. Keep the polish cool. You can step down off the rows here.
Is it raining? Because I can hear water.
Yes, it was.
Oh, yeah.
Back to the cross again. The cross is just around the corner.
And
Over
there's
there.
a bit of history here,
There's
isn't
your
there?
little town crier place again. A bit of history. 1309.
Yeah, down here, yeah.
So 1346. So it sounds as though the rows have been here for quite some time. In the 1500, actors performed on mobile stages made from brightly painted carts, and excited onlookers crowded onto the rows to get the best view. And that was in 1500. So the rows have been here for quite some time. I think the Victorians extended them a bit. Made them into what they are today, I think. I'm not the world's best on history. There we go, Brides of Chester. Get yourself a nice wedding dress. Scented garden. Some older buildings across the way there. Got the old church. And then you've got the Skipton Building Society across the way here. I doubt that's always been the Skipton Building Society, but it is at the moment. 1891, that building across the way. I'm sure quite a lot of these are extremely old. The roof is quite low here too. Riley's on the row. Sandwiches, breakfasts. traditional breakfast: 2 sausages, 2 bacon rashers, egg, mushroom, beans, hash browns, white pudding, and doorstep toast. £8.50. Doesn't sound too bad, does it?
Rosie's Nightclub.
It's a city, after all. Yeah, Rosie's Nightclub. It's been
See
closed for
the
ages.
buildings on the top, on the end, that used to be a pub. On the end here.
Yeah.
And then people went in there and they went into Rosie's afterwards. It was also known as Quakeways,
Yeah.
and it was something else in between as well. But that was a pub when it had a name, and people went in there before they went into the pub. And again, it's on Facebook history sites. Because the entrance into Rosie's is downstairs, and this is the. So you go downstairs, then you go up the steps. This is the first floor, and there's 2 more floors, and there's also, you can go on the roof as well now. So if you're smoking that, there's a little bar on the roof. Quite a lot of steps to go up just for cigarettes. So it's grand with you. Don't bother smoking. There's a little thing, another magical slippery thing.
Cobwebs.
It's got sticks on it to stop the birds. That's what's on the lights as well, see the sticks.
Yeah. Otherwise, you
Yeah,
get
I know,
pigeons.
the lamppost is to stop the birds.
Pigeons love it, don't they?
This bit here was the pub bit.
This bit here.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell you what it's called. I know what it is because I'll read up on the histories and stuff.
I see. There's a
A
ropey looking alleyway down there. But there's all sorts gone on down that alley.
Try walking down here in heels.
Yeah. Well, you're doing it in vans.
I know. I've got it.
And here we are, back out onto the main street. But it's lashing down now. So I think I'll call time on filming. Poor chap's there, a bit stuck there. But yeah, I think I'll call it quits on the filming there because my camera's not waterproof, unfortunately. Might be able to just zip quickly across the road. Just so you can get a look at the roads we've just been on. There is the aforementioned Rosie's Nightclub. Smiggle, or whatever the heck that is.
What's down there?
You can go onto the road down
What's
there
down
too.
there? It's a shirt trap. What is that?
Okay, okay. Well, we might have been saved. Might be able to do a little bit more filming.
They closed down a little bit and then reopened again. They do nice meals in there.
I'll just pause here while I adjust myself after climbing up and down with all these steps. Right, okay. Battery's getting quite low now anyway, so. Okay.
They did close for a while and reopened again. We do nice meals in there and have a nice drink. It's open
Okay.
till late. So
Yeah.
if you want to go to a club and not pay, this is a good place.
Okay.
And stuff.
But unfortunately,
That's the back end of the Victoria pub. And that takes you out
Think,
onto the road. So if you leg it, you can get out to the road.
well, I don't need to leg it, but just I can't really stay in the rain for too long with it. Because unfortunately, it's not waterproof.
Usually you have seats outside here.
Keep my hand over the top of it.
Have a drink.
And one of the dangers of getting things soaked, cameras, etc., is getting fungus growing on the lens that you can't get to fix. Walk through the little rainstorm. And here we are. And here's more Rose.
Yeah.
The Victoria. Is that a pub?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
Victoria pub.
Do the rows on the other side of the road go all the way down the street?
Yes, they do, yeah.
Down that way?
Yes.
So we may as well go that way, head back towards the river?
Yeah. That way takes to the race course.
Yeah.
And there's restaurants and bars down there if you're hungry or thirsty.
Aiming to go down there.
There's a
But
museum down there as well.
But as you can see, with the rain,
If it's still going.
it's whacking down a bit.
There's it toys and stuff in that museum.
What?
The museum, as you go down
No
there
idea.
on your right.
No idea, I didn't even know there was a museum there, to be honest.
Yeah.
Used to be a toy shop down there for years.
No. Anyway, there's a sign. It might not be there.
Right, I'm going to go across the road here. I'm going to pause because this is going to get flipping soaked. So it's going to go in my pocket out the way for a sec. Okay, I made it. Got the camera in my pocket where it didn't get soaked. And we're here. Luckily I've got my waterproof coat on, so it's not going to get absolutely devastated. On the way back down to the river. A couple of pigeons having a bit of a rest just further down there. It's a shot of the cross from the other side of the road. In recent times, because family issues, got some poorly relatives, but we managed to get into Chester on Sunday, and Anne-Marie went to the York Roast Company and got herself a Yorkshire pudding, but we only managed about 30 minutes here. We had to leave. There's the pigeons. Hello there. Poor things, they could do with somewhere to have a rest, couldn't they? Yeah, these rows are quite low. If you're tall, you're going to bop your head, so watch out. If you're 6 foot, you're definitely going to get a bump. I'm about 5'10" and just avoiding them.
Quite a lot leave the flats, you go around and go up the stairs. I've seen them on the
See?
advertising websites.
Randolph Caldecott, artist, illustrator and sculptor, was born here. March 22nd, 1846. Randolph Caldecott. He only lived till he was 40. Died 1886, born 1846, poor fella. I suppose that was normal back then, though.
Yeah, a bit of a shuttered one on that thing. They've got like papers on the windows there.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, they
shutters.
would have wooden shutters to close across. Susie K at the Secret Garden. I've heard of Susie Q, I haven't heard of Susie K though.
There's some, I think it's here, you go down there like a museum or something. There's some,
I don't know, it looks a little bit hippie-ish, sort of. Looks like the kind of place you get incense sticks from. A Lee Louise sort of type place. I'm not sure, because I've never been in, but it's a nice little place. Tony and Guy apparently has gone. Tony and Guy. It looks all like Tiny and Guy. Must have been a pokey little place. Sorry, can't film it. It's in a rainy bit. Tessuti. Suits, usually.
Yes, no, it's not. That's, it's posh powder, it's not a suit.
Okay.
Yeah, but then you'll be yeah, this is
The rain is taking hold. I think it's in for the night, this. And we're going to get a bath going back to the car. Well, Jimmy and himself will be alright. I think poor Anne-Marie's going to get a bit of a bathe. She's in a woolly coat. Me? I've got me waterproofs on.
Isn't this where that strip club used to be? The strip club.
I have no idea. Apparently this was a strip club.
No, somewhere by there is a strip club, wasn't there?
I remember one being, I think, in Chester. It used to have a name. I can't remember the name of the damn place. 'Cause everyone used to be talking about it, especially the blokes. And I can't remember the name of it now. Just put my hand over the top.
Oh, it's advertising there. It's a sewing place.
Chester Stitches.
What maybe it's there. Oh no, this is it. This is it. This was the strip club. There's now Breakout Chester.
I see, and
There
this
you have to go in a room and try and escape. Doing
this
different tasks.
this place looks as though it still has the wooden shutters on that you were talking about further down the road there.
Yeah. This is was like a strip place. Pub.
No idea what it's called.
And here, it's called...
Telephone box is now a cash machine.
We Three Arches here. I think it was a pub, a bar, a long time ago. We said We Three Arches. You'll see it when you go down. Maybe it's called pub as well. Taxi.
Yeah, if you want to get a taxi.
You have to do is queue up outside. You take your name, where you're going, and then they drop underneath the lovely taxi. Just make sure you know. Yeah, this here. See under here? This is called We Three Arches.
Okay.
There's 1, 2, 3 arches.
Okay.
And I think these three, the drinking with your supplements. Not that though.
And there is an art gallery across the way. And here you got a chiropractor. You got King Cabs, Cinderbox Coffee, Jaunty Ghost, and Nando's. What's that?
Yeah, so I know I should have touched on why doing that, I don't mind, but man, I wasn't stabbing, but he wanted to get back to Wrexham or something on the train, he wanted £6 off me, and he felt bad because I know it's only £6, but I just said, I just returned this flag, I've got it, only got a full pocket in it, when I gave it to him.
Yeah.
If you do get money, shut some money out, you could have those arts take it somewhere. I mean, it might not be the case, but we got them all here. I'm not saying good, but
So there we are, there's Chesterfield. I'm going to put the camera away now because I'm going to go for a swim.
You said cars now. For all these taxis, they do cars.
Maybe.